last competitor, Mr. John Perry, has been trialling here since the early 80s, and as it was announced recently, his first trial here, he won the novice. And he's been an enthusiastic supporter of this trial and many other trials around New South Wales and Victoria. I don't know whether I've heard if he gets up to Queensland. Has he been, Barry?
I'm not sure. I don't think John travels that much.
Yeah.
He came out to Merriman trial last year, as you know, and he said he's never been that far for a holiday before.
Well, I remember driving the trial. It was about 950k from here to Moolameen. And I think I took the long way. I didn't follow the navsat. He's had a good cast,
Yes.
and a reasonable lift,
Yes.
but a little bit of weeping. I wouldn't mind knowing where the judge got those 5 points, 4 points from.
It's pretty hard to see from here, but he's in the position to see them.
That's right.
Better than we are, but he must have been right on the ball.
Yes.
Because it looked a pretty good run from outside.
Very much so. Although I've pinged different places from around the ground, and you get a slightly different view.
Yes, you do. When I'm judging, I try and be in exactly the same position at every obstacle for every dog, so as I get exactly the same position for their movements.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can have a varying view of it.
It's called the parallax error.
Is it?
Yep. You've got to have your line where the gap is
Yes.
between the two wings of the obstacle.
Yes, so as you can see when the sheep are in or not.
Yes.
And the same at the bridge and the same at the pen. This is actually the defending champion, I think, this dog.
It is indeed. It won last year.
Yeah.
Very nice draw. Not many errors there. Almost in the delivery area.
Yeah.
You people watching it on TV can't quite see the yellow line that marks the edge of the delivery area, but we can see it from here, and you might reference it with that yellow marker with the white top. That's the edge of it. But it circles round. So they've been in, they're now out, and John's decided to walk.
And this is the pressure point where the sheep are going downhill and going home.
So far, so good.
Yep.
At what age would you retire a good working dog from trialling, Barry?
Their ability to run dictates it. Dogs are a bit like us humans. Some get arthritis and so on. But they're generally, you know, if you have a 10-year-old dog, you've had the best of him, I think. I had an old dog. He's the one I bought in Scotland. He's 12 this year, July. He won his trial in 2019, his open trial, and then COVID interrupted things, and he didn't do another trial for 2 years.
Yeah.
And when he did come back to trialling, he was an old dog, just in those 2 years. Yeah. In your time in trialling, who would you consider the standout trialer or standout dog? that you've witnessed?
Well, there'd be 3 triallers, perhaps 4. Ross Dodge, who I saw regularly work here, calm, dogs were fleet of foot, perfect position, a great trialler. Then there was Pip Hudson, who was a great trainer and was at the peak for many years. Then Greg Prince came in and eclipsed Pip, and then a couple of years before Greg tragically died, Pip's son Michael came on the ascendancy, and he always came with a pack of dogs that were exceptionally well trained, and over the time that training has paid off with the number of prizes he's won.
Yeah.
I visited his home when his father had his 80th birthday, and I looked into the kitchen living area and I saw all the trophies. But I said to Michael afterwards, what's missing from your display in there is the sash you won here. Duke of somebody's sash. And he said, oh no, that's in the pride of place. Where's that? The bedroom.
Oh.
I wasn't invited into the bedroom to look at it. Believe me, I was tempted to say, I want to see it again.
Good one. Good one.
Well, Ross Dodge, he kept all the trophies he won from the late 50s on. And he had a trophy room.
Yeah.
And Barry was remarkable. The trophies for first prizes were sterling silver, quality items.
Yep.
Then there was slowly a change. Plastic jugs, kettles as such like.
Yeah.
And just the prizes changed.
Yeah.
And the garage was full of blue ribbons. There were just so many. But the trophy room was fascinating, not because of the number, but because of the change in quality of them and the cost of them over time.
Yeah.
And John's having a very good run here, no points lost coming up the corridor.
Up the bridge quite nicely.
Very nicely. The dog didn't have to go and push them over, they went over. A remarkable little dog,
Yes.
doing an excellent job. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm told that when this is over, you can still access all the trial from the top 20 on. It's getting kept on the web somewhere.
Yep.
And you can access it, I'm told, through the National Championship Trial website. And it'll be worthwhile watching, particularly the last 2 dogs. Last score was 95, and this is going to be in the same range.
The thing about those triallers that you mentioned, like Greg Prince and Mick Hudson and Pip, they'll always help someone else. Mick does a lot of schools, private schools. Greg Prince did, helped a lot of people, not just trial people, but just dog owners. And Pip the same. And they put back in a lot of their knowledge.
Yes. The sheep went in very nicely into the...
There was a very nice run.
Very nice run, and the dog covered the gate all the way.
Yep.
That's an excellent run. Put that into your palate memory, ladies and gentlemen. Those last 2 trials will probably have a similar score.
Well done, Mr. Perry. So that's John Perry with Bredbo Ash. John was the winner here last year at the National with this little dog. So I'll wait till I have John's score. Just while I'm waiting, I would love to thank the judge, Mr. Colin Reid from Victoria. Colin has put in huge days for us here at the National. His first dog out at 7 a.m. and he goes until we finish late in the afternoons. Colin, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You have been an absolute pleasure to work with. Except my darling didn't make it into the final. We'll talk about that later. I'd love to thank the workers down at the yards, everyone down at the yards. Barry, I hope you can hear me. You've made our job very, very easy. Thank you, workers down at the yards. John Perry Bredbo Ash, 95. Let me do some maths and I'll give you our winners.